Russell Chiwa and Josh Carlton at the jump circle, and South Florida wins the tip. You'll notice in that starting lineup, Jamal Shead is not out there, suffered an ankle injury against Tulsa, but we could see him tonight.
It's a miraculous recovery. It's a young man that couldn't even wear a boot, was on crutches. Nobody thought he had a chance to play until earlier this afternoon.
First shot of the night belongs to Corey Walker Jr., and he makes it a 2-0 South Florida lead as we see the Cougars open up in zone.
South Florida missing 3 out of their top 7 players, Javon Green, Jalen McCreary, and Jake Boggs. This is a team that already struggles to score points. What they don't struggle with is down on the defensive end.
Here's Chaplin on the open floor. We'll wait for teammates as the Cougars turn over the first trip down the floor. Pass inside the Chiwa, knocked away. We got a turnover apiece. In the open floor, Edwards from the baseline. And Chiwa the rebound. Boy, he is physically a big piece for South Florida.
Transfer from Texas Tech.
Down the lane with a layup off the right side of the left side of the floor with the right hand. That's Caleb Murphy, and a fast 4-0 start here for South Florida.
South Florida really struggles scoring, averaging only 59 points per game. They've only been over 60 7 times out of the first 16 games of this season.
It's got to be tough with Green out. That's their second leading scorer. White open from the top of the arc. Rebound for Murphy. So 2 possessions and no points so far for the Cougars. Walker on a bounce pass. Left side to Chaplin. Jameer Chaplin had himself a 16-point game against the Cougars when they met in Tampa earlier this year.
83-66 win by the Cougars. The game dominated by Josh Carlton in the paint with 30 points.
Shot clock under 5. 31 seconds of good defense, and the ball goes off of, they're going to say last touch by the man who was trying to knock it out of bounds, Corey Walker. So it'll be Houston basketball. And my guess is South Florida's going to try to slow this thing down a little bit here.
You know, they've got to. They're an outstanding defensive team. They play very hard. They play very tough. The challenge for the Bulls is just who's going to score baskets. Boy, Javon Green, that is a huge piece to be missing if they're going to have a chance to beat the Cougars for the first time in 6 years.
Tyler Edwards with the basketball. On the baseline, thinking about another 3 is White. Now penetrates in a reach-in foul.
Let me give you 2 keys to this game. Points in the paint. The first time these 2 teams played, the Cougars dominated points in the paint. Plus 20, and then rebounding. The Bulls are 0-7 this season when they're out rebounded by their opponents.
They will present a bigger front line, that is for sure. Shot clock at 15. Catch, shoot, and a drop. 3-pointer on the way and good. Tyler Edwards picking up where he left off. 7 threes against Tulsa.
Really nice execution on that baseline out of bounds play. It was an elevator door. It was a split screen that closed as Tyler Edwards slipped through.
Feels like to me that South Florida may not even take a shot until about 10 on the shot clock. Walker, kick out right corner. That's going to be a short on the attempt for Sorrell Smith. The offensive rebound by South Florida will go uncontested as it's knocked out of bounds. The possession will go to Houston as Chaplin could not hold on to it.
That baseline out of bounds play. Watch Kyler Edwards come between the screens. See the 2 guys, see Carlton and Fabian White. Watch him slip right between them, and then they close the elevator door. You go high, you step up, you go through the middle. Really good execution.
Edwards needs that. Just 34% from 3-point range so far this year. Into Carlton, who owned the Bulls a couple of weeks ago. Nice feed inside to White.
Excellent job by Fabian White. You throw the ball to the post, go somewhere, dive to the basket, relocate. Do not stand in one place.
5 in a row for the Cougars. At the free throw line, a jumper from Murphy, strong. Rebound is loose. Fighting for a Chiwa on the baseline. It's going to be out of bounds last touch. And look who goes about 5 rows up to the stands. Fabian White wants to introduce himself to some Cougar faithful.
You know, this is for Kelvin Sampson. This is a transfer portal game for both teams. You've got 4 players on the floor for University of Houston, all in their first season with the Cougars. 3 transfers and a freshman, Ramon Walker. For the Bulls, they've got 10 new players and 8 transfers.
Brian Gregory in his 5th season at South Florida, trying to establish something again. They thought the victory against Central Florida was their best game of the season. With 7 on the shot clock, a deep 3 missed off the hands of Walker. Weak side rebound.
Good, strong rebound by Ramon Walker.
Walker getting the most of his valuable playing time with all these injuries. He's got the ball in his hands. Top to Tajay Moore, touches it for the first time. Carlton picking up where he left off in Tampa as well. He had an amazing game in South Florida. He's got his first basket here.
30 points in that game, but he did such a nice job, Matt. He caught the ball and he looked over his right shoulder, saw a double team coming from the high side and spun low.
So after the Bulls score the first 4, it's 7 straight. 2 offensive rebounds so far for South Florida. They do have 4 misses, however. And again, they're draining clock here as we've already gone 4 minutes plus. 3-pointer off the hands of Murphy, no. Rebound picked up by White. He wants to push. Edwards straight away looking for another deep 3. He's got it. That's his second triple. 9 in 1 game in 4 minutes. And the Cougars now comfortably in front now by a score of 10-4.
Have a throwback night, and Nike was nice enough to put them together, and I think they're really cool.
The retro look is good. So is this defensive look for the Cougars. They double team the ball handler, and there is a whole lot of mess right there with 15 to shoot. Wow, that is incredible work, and it is going to be deflected out of bounds. What a nightmare for Corey Walker that time, as Tajay Moore and Fabian White were all over it. A lot of folks wanted a travel call, but they will not get it.
They're lucky not to get called for a foul. What you can't do when you got someone in that position is reach in, and the instincts are to reach down and slap at the ball, and you just don't have to. Brian Gregory will disagree with that. He thought there was a lot of fouls down there.
Nice pick and roll for Russell Chiwa. He's going to put it in for 2. Doesn't score a whole lot, but is a menace underneath with rebounding and at least rim protection as that ends a run for the Cougars of 10 straight.
A terrific pass from Caleb Murphy. He is going to be so important to this Bulls team tonight.
Edwards gets a screen from White. Down the lane. That's manhandled that time by Chiwa. Also Walker in the reach-in. I mentioned a little bit at the top of our broadcast, worthy of noting. There might be a chance Jamal Shead plays in this game today. He had suffered that terrible ankle injury against Tulsa, only played, 5 minutes in that contest, but has had not a miraculous recovery, but I think a recovery that shocked even himself and his team.
Certainly remarkable, if not miraculous.
That's true.
Nobody expected. We talked to John Houston. He said all of the MRI, all of the films, everything shows no structural damage, and he came in and said, I can go, warmed up, looked pretty good. I'm a little concerned about him warming up and then going over there and sitting down and that ankle getting tight.
Inside again, White from missed the bunny. Offensive rebound to Carlton. Kick out. Another 3. That's 3 triples in the first 5.5 minutes for Kyler Edwards.
Kyler Edwards is turning himself into an elite level shooter. And I didn't think I would say that at the beginning of this season. He is 4th in the American Conference in 3-point field goal shooting.
Chiwa misses the dunk. Back come the Cougars, up by 7. Nice anticipation that time. Walker bats it out of bounds to the baseline. Substitutions coming in. Bayron Matos will be at the low block here for South Florida.
Nice recovery on the backside. Who was that? Was that Kyler Edwards with the block?
Oh, it sure certainly was. Full shot clock here just about for the Cougars. Moore at midcourt. Got Chaplin in front of him. Another screen set. Jumper from the free throw line. Ball tapped up. Murphy with the rebound for South Florida. Now they're starting to push here from the free throw line. Murphy misses from 15.
A really good transition defense by Ramon Walker in the open court.
Walker has it now right side. David's been thinking about that 3. He'll penetrate the baseline. That ball is swatted away by Sam Hines. Ball is loose and South Florida comes up with it. Hines, the second player off the bench for the Bulls. Looks like this group, Reed, wants to push a little bit more, a little faster in the offense. There's an offensive foul. Will be a whistle against Sorrell Smith, who is getting the start today for Javon Green. We mentioned at the very top of the broadcast. Their second leading scorer had 19 against Central Florida, and he is out with COVID.
Even when you have a team that struggles to score offensively, I think against this Houston team, it's always better to try to score early in the shot clock and in transition.
If you hear the crowd, there's a reason why. Jamal Shead is on the floor with 13:31 remaining. This is a young man that only played 4:57 against the Hurricane on Saturday. Obviously a fan favorite. Gonna have to watch that ankle throughout the course of the contest. My guess is Reed's on a minutes restriction of some sort. Looks good so far. Looks for Edwards, and a 3 ball on the baseline will be rewarded with free throws on a South Florida foul. It's going to be a call against Jameer Chaplin.
Jamal Shead has been one of the best stories for the Houston Cougars this season. His emergence and the way he has developed and grown, and this young man averaging 14 points per game in conference games. He's first in the conference in assists. He's second in assists to turnovers and third in steals. You look at the numbers of Kyler Edwards, 15, 8, and 8. And what's interesting about that, that's been his season average since Sasser and Mark went down. In conference games, he's been averaging 15, 8, and 8. Very few people in the top 15 in rebounding and scoring like Kyler Edwards is in the American Conference.
You notice already 4 fouls against the Bulls here in the first almost 7 minutes as Edwards hits the second of 3 free throws. Edwards coming in at 69% on the year. So a little rest here for Tajay Moore as Ramon Walker returns. Cougars going to have to work on that free throw percentage come tournament time. 67% collectively as a team.
It's certainly been an Achilles heel all season long.
Cougars lead up to a game-high 9. Nearly 7 minutes gone by here in the first half from the Fertitta Center. Murphy faced a double team. Cougars staying in the zone. A whistle before the shot attempt. Foul on high. So let's take a look now at what this South Florida team is going to try to accomplish. They had their best performance of the year, 75-61 over South Florida. And that 75 total is one of their highest numbers so far this season. As you mentioned, they've really struggled offensively. This is a squad that only shoots 38% as a team. 25% from the three-point line. That win against UCF snapped a 4-game losing streak for the Bulls. Sam Hines misses on a free throw jumper. Shead in the open floor for the Cougars. Attacks the baseline. On the trail, losing it. Boy, Roberts had it momentarily. Cougars lucky to maintain possession. Shot clock at 15. Open 3 again, this time from the hands of Walker Strong. Weak side rebound. Here comes Murphy. They cannot, on the transition, get anything going, but they're lucky on the tap out by the Cougars. South Florida maintains possession with 25 on the clock. Caleb Murphy does such a nice job of keeping his head up. As soon as he touches the ball, he's looking up the floor. Averages just 3 assists per game. But for Brian Gregory, I really like the 6'4" freshman point guard. 1 of 9 are the Bulls shooting after opening up, making their first 2 field goals of the game. Good trap there. Murphy in trouble. Now inside the arc, a long 2. It's Strong. Rebound, Roberts to Shead, and here come the Cougars. 1 on 4. Spun back is Edwards. They're real established. Shead just looks pretty confident so far in the limited time he's been on the floor. Screen by Chaney. Shot clock at 10. To the lane this time. But he made a season high 19 points. He made 5 3-point field goals. He was 5 for 10 in that game from behind the line. So a huge void for Brian Gregory's basketball team. Edwards at the line again. That shot attempt 4. He's made 3 so far. So Kyle Edwards having himself a fantastic start to this game. He's got 12 points already, as you see. Averages 13 coming in. And remember, he had 29 just a couple of days ago against the Golden Hurricane. Makes the free throws. We got ourselves our first double-digit lead of the Cougars 17 and South Florida 6. Stifling defense again by the Cougars, by some of those post players being on the free throw line. Caleb Murphy finding a lot of trouble. Baseline kick for 3. That's off the hands and no good for DJ Patrick. Cougars want to run. They got a 2-on-1. Make it a 3-on-1. Doesn't matter. The putback will not be there as well. Roberts on the miss. Walker on the miss as well. 2 misses that time for the Cougars.
Ooh, that's an offensive foul.
Sure
Boy,
is.
Kyler Edwards got hit in the face with a right hand.
Shot clock at 15. Jumper on the way from 14 feet. That's good for Caleb Murphy. Murphy averages 12 points a game. He's their leading scorer. He was an all-freshman player last year in the American Athletic Conference. Last game, he had 13 points, 7 rebounds. A very versatile player for the Bulls. Roberts to his left for Edwards. Pick and roll comes. Good ball movement. Walker for an open 3. Knocks out that time by Sam Hines. Here come the Bulls. They're down by 9. Nearly halfway done in the first half of play. As Reed mentioned, the Bulls' victory over the Knights, snapping a 4-game losing streak for South Florida. Their record coming in at 6-10. Shead for a tie-up, and there it is. And possession will go to the University of Houston.
Jamal Shead, third in the American Conference in steals. He needs to come out. I think he got hit in the face. I was watching to see if it's his ankle, but he is just so tough around the basketball.
The mouth, too, it looks like he got hit all over the place. He's holding.
That's 2 trips in a row that Jameer Chaplin has hit somebody in the face. Last time down, it was Kyler Edwards with the right hand. That time, it's Jamal Shead.
You think Jamal's like, if you pull me, you're not going to let me back in?
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I don't think you want to fight with Coach Sampson on that.
Good find.
Open man right corner, 3 ball. Tajay Moore, strong. To the sideline, possession will stay with the Cougars.
That time Russell Chiwa had a handful of Reggie Chaney's jersey. Reggie came all the way down the baseline, and he was just holding him down.
She was like, I like these retro uniforms.
Take one home with me.
One of my favorite old-time players, Reed Geddes, used to wear that.
Yeah, something like that.
Shead taking his time. Screen by Chaney. The pick and roll comes off the window. He'll get free throw.
What a great pass by Jamal Shead. That's the dimension that Jamal Shead adds to this team. He's poised. He's under control. He comes off of a high ball screen at the top of the key. He is almost impossible to keep out of the paint. Look at this pocket pass. Look at the pocket right there that he threads that ball through, and really nice hands by Reggie Chaney.
So Chaney, despite missing the basket, will get rewarded with a couple of free throws. 61% on the year for him.
Continuing the theme of injured Cougar Reggie Chaney, you see that brace he has on his left hand. He has a torn ligament, a damaged ligament in his finger, and 10 points is almost maybe as productive as he has been all year long. But man, he has basically been playing with just one hand.
And look at that middle number, 6 of 6 on the line too. You'll take your small victories.
Yeah,
1 and 2
no
for
doubt.
Chaney.
Tough kid. You talk to the coaching staff, first thing they tell you about Reggie Chaney is how physically tough he is.
So Murphy directs traffic. I have a feeling that Caleb Murphy may be playing 40 minutes here for South Florida, to be honest with you. Out right corner, baseline 3. That's no good for Patrick, who's missed a couple. And the back corner, that's a nice save for Jamal Shead. Got good wheels to Shead. To Chaney, takes down a defender. They're going to call an offensive foul. And taking that charge that time was Corey Walker.
That's a good call. Jamal Shead tapping, saying, my bad, I shouldn't have thrown that pass. He is right. Well, he set him up. That's like leading a receiver when he's just going to get his clock clean. The Cougars started 5 for 8. They are now 0 for 6 since.
A lot of their points, frankly, coming from the free throw line here in the last couple of minutes. They're up 10, 9:15 remaining until halftime. Patrick was looking to take another baseline. Jimmy hands it off instead. There's a jump shot inside the arc, and to make that time off the hands of Jameer Chaplin.
That was a really nice looking step back, create separation for that jump shot by Chaplin.
Chaplin averages 9 points a game. He had 16 when the Cougars met. Back to a 2-3 zone defensively for the Bulls. Zone buster on the baseline. Frankly, you're going to get that shot all day long, right, Fabian White?
Yep.
On the baseline now, Chaplin lost the basketball. Turnovers, a problem. They had 19, did South Florida in their win against Central Florida. It wasn't an issue. They come in averaging about 12 per contest.
You're playing this Houston team. That is not a formula for success. They are not only good at turning you over, they're good at turning that into points. Points off of turnovers.
8-point lead for the Cougars. Tajay Moore will direct this trip down the floor. South Florida staying in that zone defense. In the paint, turning and spinning is Chaney. Back out the Shead outside his comfort zone. To the free throw line to White. Shot clock down to 5. Got to get something going here. White's going to take a contested deep 3 and hits it. Closed his eyes, said a small prayer, and hit the triple.
Brian Gregory just shrugs his shoulders, says, man, we did everything right.
11-point lead now again for the Cougars. Second time they've hit a double-digit lead as we're now under 8 minutes. Murphy has got more in front of him. Looking almost exclusively baseline now a little bit. Shot clock at 5. Murphy left corner 3. No.
It's the second three-pointer that Murphy's taken. He's 0 for 9 for the season coming into this game.
Could you imagine being this late in the year not having a three-pointer?
No.
That's just not a repertoire that they're going to be able to use. There's a steal for South Florida. They're going to turn it right back.
Floor. But it is remarkable that in spite of all of those losses, what has this team done the last 3 weeks? They've climbed in the rankings to number 2.
Tyler Edwards back on the floor. First time for Robbie Armbruster. He'll wear number 2 for the Cougars. He is getting in the rotation time as South Florida stays in the zone. Josh Charlton tried to take a pass, and Chua took it away. We got an offensive foul and a clear-out called against the Bulls. Yeah, that is a tough break because you get very few fast break opportunities. You commit a foul like that, and that's going to drive Coach Gregory nuts.
That's about the 3rd time we've seen a Bull push off on the offensive end with a free arm. This is a good call. Watch that left arm. He just puts it up and shoves Kyler Edwards. Maybe didn't shove him as hard as Kyler Edwards responded, but a good call.
Well, I don't think he had to do that. I don't think he needed to do the separation.
He had the angle. He had him on his outside shoulder.
All right, so the Cougars maintaining an 11-point lead as South Florida's turnover bug has started to hit them here. Edwards a straightaway 3. That one comes up short. Tap out for a new 20. And there's another turnover. Chaplin that time off the deflection.
Last couple of possessions, South Florida's 1-2-2 zone has been effective.
Trey Moss on the floor. South Florida going very deep in their rotation because of the fact that Green's out tonight. Green Murphy, backcourt duo for South Florida, both averaging almost 30 minutes a game. Somebody's got to make up that time, and here's another South Florida turnover. And there's almost one as Moss almost took that away from Moore. Jump hook, White got it. Sweet spot there. 5 in a row for Fabian.
Really good composure and poise. He stood there, waited till the defense settled, cleared out. A nice, easy shot.
Trey Moss with the basketball. Good spin move. Chaplin. This is Smith. Cyril Smith with a contested 3 off the heel. Moss the offensive rebound. And now they're not just unsettled here, South Florida.
Yeah, some really bad shots, the last 2.
Nice pump fake that time off the window. 3 shots and out. Moss with 2 of those 3 misses. Cougars have numbers. Actually, it's a 4-on-4 as we got players in both backcourt. Armbruster open, 3 doesn't take it. On the trail, it's Fabian. Oh, wait, Fabian now with 104 career victories. Reed as a Houston Cougar. Your old teammate Michael Young with 109 altogether. All-time Cougar victory mark. There's a hold before the shot is taken. That's saying something. That for a young man in 2021 and 22 to have 104 career victories when so many players leave after 1 or 2 years is quite an accomplishment.
I just can't say enough good things about Fabian White. And it's not just what he's done and the teams he's been a part of, but what he represents, the leadership, the toughness, how he's evolved not only as a leader, but as a player. Really one of the best stories of this year is the way he has developed and worked on becoming a pick and pop guy, a true stretch 4. And I am a big fan of this young man. I remember meeting him when he was a freshman and his mom and dad, and could not be more proud of the fact that he's going to finish his career as the winningest player in this school's history.
Walker the 1-and-1 as that was the 2nd foul called against Walker Jr. Penalty and a bonus situation here for the Cougars on the 18th foul by the Bulls.
Yeah, Brian Gregory over there just pacing. I don't know where they're going to get points from. They alternate between being very patient and then they turn around and throw up crazy shots. And Cougs now on a 7-0 run.
This is Moss in front court here for the Bulls as they trail now by 15. Again, not much scoring on the court at all. Carlton and the company, Walker on the trail. Foul is going to be called on the Cougars.
No reason for that. I'm not sure why Josh Carlton stuck his hand in there 30 feet from the basket. All he had to do was stay in front of the ball. When you have so few subs, you don't have fouls to burn. You don't make silly fouls.
So the Cougars had this run going here, Reed, despite only making 2 of their last 10 from the floor. Left to the free throw line. Shot attempt no for Cyril Smith. 1 and out here. White the rebound. He'll come back to Edwards for a 3-ball. Long rebound secured by Murphy. He wants to push. Cougars got back so nice defensively.
Ramon Walker has been outstanding in transition defense. That's about the 3rd time he has stopped the ball, taken it all the way to the sideline.
Nearly taking a charge. The late whistle comes. And they're going to call a defensive foul against the Cougars. You were bragging on Ramon. He's going to get called for a foul. Well, his head hit the court rather hard. I was a little nervous for a second, but thankfully got up very quickly.
You know, it's interesting. I think if he would have done a slide step into position instead of a jump stop, he kind of hopped in front of the offensive player, and that was a good call. Watch him hop with, that was right before that play. Ramon Walker's been good here in the first half.
He's on the bench now with 2 fouls. Shot clock reset, ball tip. Fabian White's going to try to save it. Tiptoes on the sideline and does so. And now walks, but hands it off to Edwards. Missed the shot and a foul. He got away with one, but I think it was the athletic work right in front of us here and was rewarded with the maybe perhaps extra step.
Yeah, he took a couple of extra steps.
Well, I was being polite.
I'm not sure what happened. Did he lose control of the ball or did he just stumble? Take a look at it. Great hustle, as you point out, coming down the sideline. I thought he was going out of bounds. And see if he doesn't lose control of this ball. No, that's a missed call. That's a travel.
Yeah. I'll technically say 1 extra step, and there might have been 2. But free throws, nevertheless, is now you've got a 3rd foul on Corey Walker Jr. And you were talking about depth. To have a starter for South Florida who's going to be challenged offensively. Now, not that Walker was scoring a whole lot, but to have a starter who plays good minutes now on the bench has got to hurt Coach Gregory.
Well, and one of their better rebounders, Corey Walker, big, thick, strong kid. And, you know, we talk so much, and rightfully so, the story of the Cougars and who's not here and injuries and overcoming it for Corey Walker and his teammates to walk in to play the number 10 team in the country on the road without Javon Green and Jalen McCreary and Jake Boggs. That's 3 of your top 7 players.
1 and 2 for Edwards at the line. Sam Hines returns for the Bulls. Just 10 points so far as we approach 4 minutes remaining until halftime. Jump hook that time for Russell Chiwa. I don't know if you want to foul a guy out 13 feet away from the basket.
I'm perplexed by the shot selection by South Florida. You know, sometimes they come down and they work it and they take really good shots, and then other times not so much.
She went 56% on the line this year. Certainly looks the part from Cameroon, 7-foot junior.
I should know the answer to this, but I'm going to go ahead and ask anyway. Did Chiwa and Kyler Edwards, were they teammates together at Texas Tech? They had to have been. They had to
for a year, right?
Yeah, they had to have been.
Yeah. And so we'll see DJ Patrick return here for the Bulls. The Bulls collectively only 68% for the line as Chiwa makes 1 and 2. Substitutions coming in here. Bayron Matos back on the floor here for the Bulls. That's only the 2nd free throw for the entire game of this first half. Just showing you that they've shot much of the perimeter and have not had really battled down low against the Cougars big men.
Back to that 1-2-2 zone. The short corner, if you can flood one side and then the other, the short corner ought to be wide open.
Baseline left. There's a smooth stroke we were looking for. Kyler Edwards had a fast start, cooled off for 3, and that triple makes it 29-11. Under 4 remaining until halftime.
Great defense by Fabian White.
Hines down the lane. Chaplin against Tajay.
See more on. You would expect Coach Sampson to be happy.
Yeah, there very few times. Catch and shoot off the inbounds. There's a 3-pointer for Jameer Chaplin.
Well, said nobody ever during a game.
That's the first 3-pointer of the night for South Florida, and that's just the 10th of the season for Jameer Chaplin.
Good pass.
That's an easy dunk for Josh Carlton. Got off to a fast start. That's not really needed offensively here with a nice 18-point lead, but he'll take the dunk nevertheless.
That's execution drawn up during that timeout. Coach Sampson had Tajay Moore flash to the middle, draw the defense with him, executed extremely well.
Murphy with Shead on it. Short on the mid-range. Long outlet pass. This could be fun. Easy flush for Tajay Moore. He's on the scorecard. Cougars up 20.
Coach Sampson, Kelvin and Kellen, and talks about how much they've reined him in and allowed him to focus and thrive. And it's really been fun to watch this young man mature in the short time we've watched him.
Look at Josh Carlton out against the wing. How about this? And then he swats it with his left hand.
Great job of keeping his hands up. Now, the whole time he's moving his feet, he's playing defense with his chest, but he never brought his hands down below his shoulder.
If you're 6'8" and above playing for Kelvin Sampson, you're going to be guarded beyond the free throw line. That's just part of the requirement of being here. Hines gives up the open shot to the baseline.
Great closeout by Tajay Moore.
This is Patrick for an open three off the back heel. Offensive rebound by Hines. New 20 here for South Florida.
South Florida, the frustration, shooting just 24% from the floor. Only made 1 3-pointer, now 1 for 11.
Wow. And it's out of bounds. They're getting some looks. I just think from a perimeter perspective, they're just not being able to knock anything down. 20-point lead.
I don't know what they're looking for. You know, they've got some good open 3-pointers, but this is a team that only shoots 25% for the season from behind the line. And a little surprised they haven't tried to go inside.
Edwards inside. Speaking of that, there's Carlton going to bring it back out to Moore. Chris passing here. Shot clock at 13. Catch for White. Nails a three in front of Sam Hines. Fabian White with a triple. Lead of 23 and a whistle inside. So if you're Kelvin Sampson and you're of an interpretation of you're never happy with anything, what are you going to tell your boys at halftime?
I don't know. I was going to ask Shelby, do you think he'll be happy going into the locker room?
Yeah.
But, you know, there'll be something. But look, he has pushed these kids. He's prodded them. He hadn't allowed them to make an excuse. And, boy, they have not missed a beat.
On the baseline.
Ooh, big shot.
There's a big three-pointer. How about that from the hands of DJ Patrick, who only shoots 26% from three-point range.
That was a nice basket.
Just 7 field goals here for the Bulls in the first half of play. Moore at the top. Another Edwards baseline jumper. Comes off the back heel. South Florida the push this time. And Shead takes it away off the hands of Murphy. And then a held ball in backcourt.
Well, Caleb Murphy is lightning fast with the basketball. He gets from here to there as quick as anybody I've seen this season. 6'4" freshman can really move. An outstanding transition defense by Jamal Shead.
Stood straight up.
Straight up.
Didn't move his feet.
He's so tough. When Shead puts his hands on the ball, it's his ball. Nobody's going to take it out of his hands.
Tyler with the tip. In backcourt, they can save it. Can South Florida. That's Patrick with the basketball. All sorts of pressure this time. Moss having a difficult time against the Cougar defense. 7 to shoot inside the arc, and there's a jumper good for Sam Hines.
Much better execution and shot selection the last couple times down the floor for Sam Hines and his teammates.
So the Cougars have doubled up the South Florida Bulls with under a minute remaining until halftime.
Bulls out of that zone, going back to their man-to-man. I'd go inside to Josh Carlton.
Josh has it now against a double team. Lost it, throws it off, throws an elbow, doesn't matter. Taking it, Bayron Matos, and it's a deuce anyway for Josh Carlton.
Boy, Brian Gregory's going berserk about a travel. I'd ask the refs to review the elbow. I think it was a basketball move, but clearly an elbow right in the face.
Cougars have made 5 of their last half of the field goals made for the Cougars in this first half have come from beyond the arc.
Without Sasser, without Tremont Mark, I would not have believed that had you told me.
So Edwards going to take his time to the interlocking UH. Not much movement by either side of things as the shot clock, as you see, is working its way towards 10 seconds. Now the offense moves. Moore inside of Carlton against a double team. There's a steal from Moss. And then a turnover, and that's going to drive USF crazy. You work hard to not allow the Cougars to get a final shot, you think, and then you turn it over on the U of H side of floor, and that is going to be now 11 turnovers for the Bulls. They average 12 turnovers per contest, so they've already almost met that here with 1 second left to go. Buzzer went way early. That should way. South Florida came out with about 2 minutes remaining on that halftime clock, so quite a dissertation probably from Coach Gregory.
Whatever Brian Gregory was telling him, he told it to him for a long time.
Fabian White with the basketball to open up the opening possession here for Houston to start the second. Tajay going to post up, goes to the window, draws contact. We've got free throws coming up here for Tajay Moore on the foul against South Florida.
Nice up fake that time against Jameer Chaplin. Jameer Chaplin got an elbow under his rib cage, and that's what he's looking at the official going, I got my hands up, and he lowered his shoulder into me.
Tajay with a huge rebounding performance against Tulsa, and now South Florida's putting up some big-time numbers as well.
I think that's been his biggest improvement. You know,
Yeah.
He's got this ridiculous athleticism, and you always see it flashed in transition. You see it on defense, but early in the year, we weren't seeing it rebounding and going to the boards. I think he has really improved in that area the last month.
2 missed free throws, however, coming down into the South Florida end. There's a turnover. Not what you want if you're South Florida. That's your 12th of the game. Edwards with the Cougars in the first minute of the second half, and another quick whistle. That's 2 early fouls, that time of reaching against Russell Chiwa.
Brian Gregory's sticking his hands up, and he's not saying that to the official. He's saying that to Russell Chiwa. You're never going to be able to deny the ball to a post player from standing behind him. That is going to be a foul 10 times out of 10.
All tip, and there's another foul. That's 3 whistles. I'm assuming, Shelby Coppage, that the visit with Coach Gregory was quite tense for him to describe his squad over the first 20 minutes of play.
Matt, South Florida head coach Brian Gregory told me his team is doing a better job at taking care of the basketball, especially when the Cougars started heating them up on the defense. What it comes down to is that shot selection. He said their offensive rebounds are not giving them second chances. They really need to start focusing on open court transition opportunities. 3
fouls already for South Florida in the half. Thank you, Shelby. That's now also 4 fouls against Chaplin. Inside, catch, gather. Carlton with 2 misses. Sluggish start here for both sides in the first almost minute of play. Walker behind him over to Smith. And Sorrell Smith starting today for the Bulls. Javon Green was out with health and safety protocol.
Walker and Fabian White just knocked heads. It was incidental, but both of them shaking up a little bit. Maybe smashed noses into each other.
Brian Gregory has spent a lot of time jawing at the officials. Got to be mad at somebody when your squad's down 20, sadly.
And the officials jog by and go, Coach, I'm not missing shots.
Yeah. Here's White. Back to Moore. Likes that spot, top of the arc. 3 ball off right. Another
Good
offensive rebound and put back Ramon Walker Jr.
Yeah, the rotation's not very good for South Florida. That's uncharacteristic for them. They're stepping out and they're helping. They're just not rotating on the back end and then not putting bodies on Cougars to box them out.
10-point discrepancy in the points in the paint. There's a reach-in foul as Tajay Moore was trying to go for a steal at midcourt.
You can't see it, but to the right of your screen, Ramon Walker started that play outside the 3-point line. And one of the things this young man does so well is rebound out of position. He's got a good nose for the ball, plays high energy.
A little uncertain of the shot attempt that time by Smith. Couple of looks, and then out to finish for Russell Chiwa. Got it right place, right time. No box out that time defensively by the Cougars. 20-point lead to Edwards. His first shot of half number 2. Short. South Florida wants to push.
I'm telling you, Caleb Murphy can fly.
He can.
He can fly.
From the right elbow to the baseline in like 1 second.
Just smooth and kind of floats.
Moore looks to be active. Carlton.
Good ball.
Moore. They're trying to find an open shot. Fabian a jump hook. Strong. Chiwa tip. Chiwa doing a nice job. That's a tough assignment going against the big fella in Josh Carlton. Nearly 3 minutes gone by. Cougars maintaining a 20-point advantage. Patrick to catch and shoot 3. Drains it in front of Tajay Moore. That might have been the best looking 3-point shot in a while. Not forget about tonight.
You know, Brian Gregory was talking to Shelby about shot selection, and that was much better shot selection by Patrick that time down.
Patrick only shoots 26% from 3. That is their second 3-pointer. In the low block, Carlton facing a double team. Somebody's open. It's Walker on the left side. Strong. White the rebound. New 20. Edwards open for a 3 with a big smile on his face.
Now the Cougars practice that offensive rebound, kick out 3. Kyler Edwards spotting up, and a nice find by Fabian White.
Edwards now up to 20 points. Lead back to 20. Or a little left elbow push off by Sherrell Smith, but a foul is going to be called against the Cougars instead, much to the dismay of Ramon Walker Jr.
Now let's see if we can see Kyler Edwards moving with that shot. Up at the top of your screen, watch Fabian White. He grabs it and he immediately looks out. He's in traffic and he looks out to the three-point line. That is oftentimes when you get your most wide open looks from behind the three-point line is off offensive rebounds.
Edwards has 5 field goals tonight in this game. All 5 are from beyond the arc.
That career high 7 three-point field goals may not stand for very long.
It lasted 1 game, it looks like.
Yeah.
4 minutes gone by in the second half. Murphy to the baseline against 2 defenders. Errant shot.
USA. You know, you think about Gonzaga in the WCC. It is amazing statistically what the Cougars have done. Boy, a good play out of timeout for the Bulls. Patrick now with 2 threes in the second half.
A catch and shoot 3 that time. Speaking of that, here's Edwards from the 3 ball. As the Cougars go mano-a-mano from distance with the Bulls. That is now the 8th three-pointer for the Houston Cougars. 23 for Edwards. Hines to the right elbow. Pulls up from 10. Back iron.
Yeah, but the Bulls get much better shots in the second half.
Yeah. This is a good shot here. Fabian White on the feed from Jamal Shead.
Back-to-back assists for Jamal Shead.
Number of assists tonight off made baskets means excellent ball movement here for the Cougars.
11 assists now off 16 made field goals.
Ladies 22. Baseline left Patrick, who's got the best perimeter stroke tonight here for South Florida.
Doesn't look like a 26% shooter, does
Not
he?
at all. Kind of has to shoot it by necessity. Shot clock under 5. Launching. Brick. Unfortunately for Caleb Murphy. Let's go to the sidelines. Here's Shelby.
Coach Sampson for Houston said his team needs more offensive rebounds. He just told his team timeout. We need to pick up the intensity. He is not happy that his team only had 3 offensive rebounds in that first half, considering his team's currently 6th in the nation for offensive boards.
2 so far here in the first 5 minutes and change. 5 for the game. Tajay Moore out to Shead. Roberts, post-to-post feed into Carlton, and 1! Good passing, big men are
yeah,
so
beautiful
underrated.
drop step. He looks over his left shoulder, makes contact, then drop steps back over his right. And then those long arms, look how high he keeps this ball to finish through contact. That is an excellent finish by Josh Carlton.
So Carlton with the basket. The foul is on Chiwa, and that is his 2nd foul. The assist to Edwards. The free throw is good. And the Cougars now with a game high lead of 25.
And Josh Carlton in conference games, the last 4 games, averaging 19 points per game and 9 rebounds.
Cougars maintaining defensive intensity here. Not a whole lot of open shots, making it work a full 35. Shead almost, that's more almost for the steal. Another catch and shoot baseline right for DJ Patrick.
Well, his shot looks great.
Just don't think about it, I think.
No, I guess.
The 1-2-2 here. Moore in the right corner to Carlton. Spin move, and he traps it in for 2.
His footwork is outstanding. We saw him go over his right shoulder last time down, this time over his left. The plus minus of Jamal Shead on the floor is now plus 16. So many things the point guard does that perhaps goes unnoticed.
Murphy. Another lean into a defender. That's Edwards. Shot Murphy, free throw line good. Probably this is your best 3 or 4 minute stretch if you're a South Florida
Yeah,
fan
no
tonight.
doubt. They've gotten good shots. They've executed well. Brian Gregory's still not happy. Now they're back to that 1-2-2. The 1-2-2 was effective in spurts in the first half.
And 2nd straight trip down the floor. Cougars will see that defensively. Edwards now, Murphy now has 6 points, by the way. He has struggled just 3 of 13 from the floor.
Now they're running a set trying to isolate Carlton against that zone.
Kicks it out. Moore, open 3. Fighting for the rebound. Back corner, Chiwa with the board. 23-point lead as we approach 12.5 remaining in this contest. Top of the key, and there's a foul out high. It's going to be a whistle called against Jamal Shead. And I think Tajay Moore is calling for a sub, and he's going to get it here.
Is he just tired, or did he tweak something?
I hope it's A, if you're giving me options.
Yeah, if that was a multiple choice.
If it's C, all of the above, I think the Cougars are in trouble. Caleb Murphy to the free throw line. Try one, good. By the way, I got a text from my broadcasting legend. He went to the University of Houston. Longtime Rocket announcer. You want to guess any more after that?
I'm going to go with Bill Worrell.
Bill said that he loves watching Kyler Edwards feed the post.
I like it.
He said also on top of that, there was a certain point guard that would feed Akeem Olajuwon as good as Kyler Edwards feeds the Cougar post.
Yeah, that's a nice compliment, because I'm a big fan of Kyler Edwards, and no slight to Josh Carlton, but it's a whole lot easier throwing that ball to Akeem Olajuwon.
Well, he was bragging. I just want to make sure that you knew that Bill was
very nice.
Giving you some nice words. There's a floater, a tough-looking shot that time for Shead, and on the baseline, nice save that time by Bayron Matos. Base guarding Walker, three-pointer on the way. My goodness, what kind of the DJ Patrick at halftime?
Yeah, he is out of his mind. That was really good defense that time.
Lead now cut to 19. It was once a 25-point lead.
Halftime, the leading scorer for the Bulls had on.
And remember, didn't start tonight's game and came in shooting just 26% from three-point distance. USF, by the way, on a 6-0 run.
Might have been the topic of that conversation, that timeout by
Cheney works the
Kelvin
baseline,
Sampson.
reverse layup. Just trying.
Now it's plus 12 for the Cougars.
Second free throw for Cheney off the back heel, loose in the backcourt. Let's check in with Shelby on the sidelines.
Coach Sampson in the huddle just now challenged his team to start playing games of 4 minutes. I want to see you play the best defense you can in the next 4 minutes and go from there. So his team's getting really gritty right now.
Sorrell Smith behind him, a three-pointer on the way. Guess who, Reed? Get as you get one guess.
Yeah, I don't know how you lose him right now. I guarantee you during that last time out, Kelvin Sampson was talking that time. Kyler Edwards, I think, was on him and lost him. And DJ Patrick, man, what a half of basketball.
That's the fifth three-pointer for USF, all from DJ Patrick.
Good curl.
Edwards, good pass. Can you get a finish out of it with the left hand? Cheney, no. Ball tipped up, saved by Roberts, a brand new 20 for the Cougars. Shead, cut off of the elbow. Catch, shoot, contested three, no for Edwards. Good defense that time by Smith of the Bulls. Murphy, floater from 15.
Ooh, that's nice.
5 straight.
Yeah, that is a nice play by Caleb Murphy.
Got a nice pat on the back from his coach, Brian Gregory, as he made his way back into the Houston front court. Once a 25-point lead has been shaved down to 15 to 54-39.
Be tempted to get Josh Carlton back in this game and put the ball in his hands down low.
Shed a floater, short. Murphy to push, in front. Toss, underneath, Matos, and he walks. That's a 3-on-1 that I think USF's going to regret not getting something out of. Substitution here for the Cougars as Ramon Walker comes back in for Jamal Shead. Remember, if you're just joining us, he turned that ankle against Tulsa. Was supposed to be out 2 weeks and is playing tonight. What are you thinking of his performance so far?
I think it's been really good. You know, it's hard to warm up and then go sit down and get cold and come back in again, but I've been surprised that he's played, much less contributed.
South Florida has outscored the Cougars here in the second half, 21-16, as we got a full foul in the Houston front court. Remember, South Florida didn't score 20 points at half. They've already scored 21 here, and we're only halfway down here in the second half. 10-13 remaining. 54-39, the lead of 15. Down the lane, nice move with the left hand for Tajay Moore. 56-39. Moss with the basketball. A little erratic when he was running point in the first half. Now to Patrick, who hasn't missed it about an hour. Good face guard that time by Moore. On the baseline, good cutoff by Edwards. Another South Florida turnover.
A good defense that time by Tajay Moore on DJ Patrick. Did a good job denying him, then getting over the top of the screen to stop the dribble penetration.
That snaps a run there. You know, South Florida had made 5 consecutive field goals for themselves.
Credit Brian Gregory. You know, they just looked terrible in the first half. 18 points. We were like, where are the points going to come from? And well, they've come out in the second half and looked really good.
Edwards with 23. Underneath, reverse layup. That was a swat, an easy one. Sam Hines with the block. Back in front court for South Florida. Trey Moss. Got Walker in front of him. Hand up for Kiaya.
DJ Patrick down here at the bottom of your screen. Kyler Edwards on him.
Moss gets a screen from Matos. Launching three-pointer on the way. That is good for seldom used Kiaya. And that's 5 of 6 for South Florida for 3 in the second half alone. 14-point game now as we are now under 9 minutes. Edwards from the near elbow. Tip up. Walker gets the offensive rebound and a reset.
Now the Cougars not executing like they were in the first half. They're settling for jump shots they could get at any point in the shot clock, and not very good shot selection. That's better.
That's a real good shot selection that time from the hands of Tajay Moore.
Yeah, but just a little bit of offense, right?
Yeah.
And on the ball screen, Kyler Edwards make the defense shift and move a little bit.
Cougars 2 of their last 9 from the floor. Lead back up to 17. Moss. Yeah, looking for back-to-back threes. That's off the front rim. Rebound for Edwards. Kyler to push.
Good
inside
pass.
to Roberts. Left hand. Missed the layup. That'll hurt, and you get a frustration foul off that Reggie Chaney miss.
Come on, Mark. It's awful easy to say, doggone, it's just not our year. And well, Kelvin Sampson and Kellen and Quanis, and they just have not allowed these kids to let up or to lower their expectations.
Bulls have made 6 of their last 7 shots to get it to within 17. Walker near the elbow. Make it now 7 of their last 8.
Holy cow.
59-44 now within 15 as the Bulls have shaved 10 points off that large 25-point Cougar advantage. Edwards to Roberts and to his left for Shead. Gets a screen from Chaney. Shead down the lane. Kick out, baseline right. 3-point try. Good box out of the Walker
good
miss.
Rebound.
And a foul is going to be called against the Bulls. And that's, if you want to notice about one thing that's been better, it has been their boxing out on the South Florida defensive side.
So a lot of people think that rebounding is a matter of just going and getting the ball. When the shot's taken, your first look has got to be turn and find an opposing player, make contact with them, seal them, and then go get the ball. And talk about a story of 2 halves in shooting. And add into that, South Florida shot 10% from behind the line in the first half and shooting 71% behind the line in the second.
That one's hard off the hands of Chaplin. The Cougars come up with it. You don't see 30% discrepancy that much in field goal shooting from half to half. That's going to help the cause as Josh Charlton hits the mid-range. 61-44. Charlton now with 13. Cougars up 17. There's a miss, 2 straight that time for the Bulls. Edwards to Shead from one end of the floor to the other.
Good ball movement.
Walker baseline open 3. Rebound at the free throw line by Caleb Murphy. Cross court. Ayaya, who is a guy that I don't think had a 3-pointer coming into the game.
Hadn't even attempted one.
Yeah.
Has already attempted 2, made 1 here in this game.
Nearing 6 minutes down the lane going Chiwa. And there's going to be a foul called. He went against 2 Houston defenders, and Chiwa's going to get some free throws out of it. Foul situation. You're going to have the Cougars now and South Florida both with 6. We'll have bonus here for the final 6:03 of this contest. Chiwa to the free throw line, where he has been there 2 times and made 1.
Right at his season average, 56%. And if it turns into a free throw shooting contest, doesn't necessarily favor either team. Both teams have not exactly lit it up from the free throw line this season.
Both coming in at under 70% from the stripe. Chiwa's first attempt. Kind of a shot put there, Mr. Geddes. Looks like Tajay Moore is going to enter the ball game.
Oh, Ramon Walker limping.
Oh, this is terrible.
Golly, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, now he's laying down. That is, I hope it's just a cramp of some sort. We'll see if Shelby Coppage can get us an update here in the next couple of minutes. 61-45.
He's holding that right knee.
That's not a cramp, I don't think. That's not good. Shead. Pass inside. USF saw it coming. That's Walker with a steal. They've got a break and a block. Nicely done. Fabian White coming back on a 2-on-1. He guessed right. It'll be South Florida basketball, but a nice deflection that time off the hands of the Atascocita product.
That's almost unforgivable if you're South Florida. Earlier we saw they had a 3-on-1 and didn't score. That time you got to spread out, get on the outside of the lane, and 2-on-1, you've got to score.
Edwards, no look pass, ball deflected. And on the previous trip down the floor, we saw DJ Patrick with that corner three. That was the worst shot he had taken all night, showing that he's human. And there's you look at John Houston taking a look at that, like underneath the kneecap, it looks like, right? John Houston's been so busy this year.
Good pass.
Tajay on the weak side, grabs the basketball, throws it off the window, puts it in for two on the assist from Kyler Edwards.
Cougars now with 18 assists on 22 made field goals.
Lead up to 18. Murphy. Shead looking for the poke. Fights for it. They're on the ground. Good ball with Patrick with a man down the lane. Coming up short on that layup try was Walker. For the Cougars defensively came back quickly. Shead spots up for a three off the back heel. Loose. Second chance opportunities. Carlton in the lane gets it swatted back. Gathers it back as he fights with Russell Chiwo for the basketball.
Tajay Moore getting up, limping. Golly, you've got to be kidding me.
You want to bubble wrap these guys, right?
Yeah, I know. I swear, when you play Houston, sometimes if you're Brian Gregory, you got to swear sometimes there's like 8 players out on the floor.
Right.
I mean, there were Cougars diving, falling, and see what happens. See, it looks like he steps on the ref. Oh, he sure did. Rolled that ankle on the ref. Oh, my goodness. He's going to walk that off.
You can't
make that up.
Well, no, you can't be injured by a ref. You'll be teased. Under 5 minutes.
If you're going to go down, it's because somebody hit you, right?
Exactly. Chaplin, catch and shoot three.
Rockets.
I love the connection between University of Houston and the Houston Cougars and the Rockets. It's happened with several players, notably number 34.
And a couple of announcers.
Yeah, that's right. Edwards turns and spins and gives it to Carlton. From 10, drops it in. We haven't seen enough of that tonight, I don't think.
Yeah, he is just so good at keeping his pivot foot down, and he has good balance, and has just turned into such an offensive threat when he touches the ball in the paint.
So there's Shead with almost a steal and almost ran into you. I was worried about you for a second. I mean, just a second. You're getting around okay.
Yeah. I would have been talking about shooting ducks.
That's a little tongue-in-cheek, and I'll let Reed describe it if he wants to.
Sitting here rehabbing from a hip replacement surgery 14 days ago.
Either hip replacements are happening to younger people or you're just old. One of the
see,
two.
I think it's just we're getting younger and younger.
Here's Murphy with a shot clock at 2. Doesn't have any idea. Throws it up to the top. 2 with 15. The lead of 17. Edwards with the basketball as we're under 4 minutes remaining in regulation. Tajay. Down the lane, Shead double pumps off the window. Tap by Charlton. And it's picked up on the open floor by South Florida. Here's Murphy down the lane. Looking for the block that time was Josh Carlton. He'll be called for a foul. Actually going to call non-Carlton. You're called on Edwards, I think.
Yeah, they called that foul really early. I thought it was on Carlton after he got to the basket, but I did not see the earlier whistle.
Regardless, it's going to be free throws for Caleb Murphy. 1 of 2 from the line. I'll make it 1 of 3 as he misses. You take a look at South Florida's upcoming schedule. They've got a home game with Temple, and then a game with SMU, and then a trip to Tulsa. This is their 3rd game, I think, in 7 days.
Not the time. You don't ever want to be down 3 out of your top 7 players,
No,
but you sure don't want to be shorthanded with that upcoming schedule. Caleb Murphy's done a good job getting some looks at the basket. He has struggled. He is just 4 for 16 from the floor. This is a young man that earlier this year against a team that a lot of people think should be #1 right now, Auburn. He had 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Bulls are 4 of 8 from the free throw line tonight. Baseline, taking a higher contested shot, Fabian White. Stepped in the arc, got the better shot.
Last year, that kid standing on the 3-point line and he up fakes, and you look at him and think, yeah, go ahead. This year, he up fakes, and boy, you're going to contest it because he's become such an effective weapon out there.
Tajay Moore with the foul that time for the Cougars. It's now 8 on them. More free throws coming up here for the Bulls and Caleb Murphy. More substitutions in. As Jawan Roberts going to get some playing time here with 3:04 remaining.
Surprising, Caleb Murphy has struggled from the free throw line this season, shooting just 56%.
Jameer Francis also set the check back in. Free throw for Murphy is on the way and good. Nice applause from those here in attendance tonight. Josh Carlton's day is done. All the Cougars are doing is just winning basketball games, no matter who's hurt, no matter who's unavailable and playing.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, who gets hurt in mid-game.
Yeah, you know, a team that was predicated in the entire offense and schematically all predicated on perimeter players, 6 perimeter players in the middle of the season. Really, at the start of conference season, to suddenly change and become an inside-oriented team, to lose the pieces they have, and they just keep winning.
Ball off the rim, so South Florida with possession. Under 3 remaining. Longs to the window. Big block. 4 hands up wearing Houston white uniforms. Moore gets a screen. Bounce pass to a cutter. Roberts. Straight away, Edwards gives up the 3. Kick out left side. Missing on the front rim on the shot attempt for Moore. Another offensive rebound. Now Edwards launches a 3. That's off the back heel. Boy, the Cougars relentless trying to go for those offensive rebounds. Here's Chaplin. Bumped by Armbruster and a foul. Ryan Elvin's going to get some playing time here with 2:13 remaining. Young men behind us rooting for the walk-on to step on the floor. There was, I mean, think about this. Ryan was going to probably get some more playing time as Armbruster as well. If Jamal wasn't able to go, you are just in desperate need of wings.
That's exactly need bodies, right? I mean, Kyler Edwards can't keep playing all but 60 seconds of every game.
Edwards with 23 points. His day is done. 7 rebounds and 4 assists as well. As we look at the young man who's going to step in and take his spot.
The last time Kyler Edwards had back-to-back 20-point games was in January of last year when he was at Texas Tech. He had 22 against Iowa State and 24 the next game against Kansas State.
Arkeaya is back on the floor for the Bulls. Making his first 3-pointer of the season here earlier in this game. 67-53. At one point, the Cougars had a 25-point advantage. And a foul down low as DJ Patrick, who has been a bright spot for the Bulls here in the second half, commits the foul in the reach-in.
Interesting lineup right now for Houston. Kelvin Sampson has Tajay Moore running the point guard position.
Armbruster at the free throw line. 1 of 8. So I'm going to officially reverse the jinx. Well, I did. Kind of hung on that back heel for a minute, but it fell.
Nobody said it has to look good. I'd like to see him come up on his toes. I mean, his legs are so stiff. He's getting no extension at all. I'd love to see him stretch his body out and lean into the shot a little bit.
Missed the second. That was more reminiscent of a guy that's 1 of 8 from the line. Under 2 minutes remaining.
No, can't do that.
You can't do that. That's a trap. Double dribble, whatever you want to call it.
Great hustle by Juwan Roberts. Get out there and contest, take away that shot by DJ Patrick in the corner.
Funny you would do that this late in the game with all the shots he's taking.
Yeah, right.
Under 2 minutes remaining. Moore straight away. Francis sets a screen for him, goes opposite side. South Florida still hustling here, despite being down by 15. Roberts
Good
lost
pass.
it, passes it inside, and a jam with the right hand for Javier Francis. Cougars reaching 70. You know, the Cougars only give up 58 points per game. It's going to hopefully be better, but that may not help the cause there as DJ Patrick inside the arc for 2 more.
DJ Patrick's made a statement, right? I mean, you're shorthanded, you need points, you need to know where it comes from. DJ Patrick may be the answer for the next several games until Javon Green gets back.
That was just their 4th field goal in their last 16 tries. There's a right elbow jumper on the way. And Tajay Moore adds 2 more to his score coming. So we're under a minute remaining here at Fertitta Center. 3-pointer Patrick off the heel. 2 different Cougars with a rebound, and grabbing at that time Javon Roberts. Now I think there's a concerted effort to get Ryan Elvin a shot here, don't you think? Instead it's Moore. He'll bury another long 2-pointer. Back-to-back baskets for Tajay Moore.
Looks pretty good out there running the point.
Sure does. Cougars up 19. Moss to the baseline right. Shot attempt no good off the hands of Sam Hines. Rebound to Francis. Cougars will get it across the timeline. And tonight inside the Fertitta Center, the Houston Cougars are going to go to 5-0 in conference play and 16-2 over